The House will come to order. The Pledge of Allegiance this morning will be led by Yazzie Gabler Alonzo, Miss Junior Teen Colorado from Westminster.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kohler, please take the roll.
Representatives Becker, Buck, Buckner, Conti, Corum, Court, Del Grosso excused, Dorr, Duran, Everett, excused, Exum, Fields, Fisher, Foote is excused, Garcia, Gardner, Giroux, Janal, Hamner, Holbert. Oh yeah, excused. Hollinghorst, excused. Humphrey, Joshi, Kagan, Kraft-Tharp, excused. Labuda, Landgraf, Lawrence, Representative Lawrence, excused. Lebsock, Lee, May, McCann, McLaughlin, McNulty, excused. Melton, Mitch Bush, excused. Moreno, Representative Moreno is present. Murray, Representative Mitch Bush is present. Representative Murray, I don't know about Murray. Excused. Navarro, Nordberg, Pabon, Peniston, Pedersen, Primavera, Priola, Rankin, Rosenthal, Ryden, Sane. Representative Lawrence is present. Representative Sane. Salazar. Schaefer. Representative Schaefer. Excused. Scott. Singer is excused. Sonnenberg. Stevens. Representative Murray is present. Representative Stevens. Excused. Swam. Zabo. Tyler. Vigil. Waller. Williams. Wilson. Wright. Young. Speaker Farinino.
Hey, Denny.
Holbert's here. Yeah. Not yet.
I'm Oh, here he is, right here.
That's all right. What are we at? 57 and 8. What? 57 and 8.
With 57 members present, 8 excused, the quorum is present. Representative Pedersen there she is. Representative Pedersen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the reading of the journal from Tuesday, February 4th, 2014 be dispensed with and approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no.
No.
The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Announcements and introductions. Representative Court.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Hey, everybody. You all have these on your desks today. This cute bag full of wonderful supplies for kids. Are you listening? You all have these on your desk today. If you have no use for these supplies and would like to be sure the people from Bright Beginnings get them back to recycle them where they could be used by a family, please put them on your file cabinet and the assignables will be sure they get back to the Bright Beginnings people so they can use them for families. And of course, if you have use for it, I hope you'll use it. But if you'd like to see it recycled to the Bright Beginnings people, put it on your file cabinet. It will get back to them. Thank you.
Any further announcements or introductions? Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, you should have emails and invites on this, but just as a heads up on it, the Colorado River Outfitters Association legislative reception is today, actually this evening, 5 to 6:30 at the Crown Plaza at the DIA Convention Center, I-25 and Chambers Road. All the River Rafters would like to see you there. Thank you.
Representative Dorr and Lebsack.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my privilege to introduce Brianna Hilsenrath, a graduate of Highlands Ranch High School, but more importantly here today, representing Colorado as Miss Teen Colorado. Would you welcome her to our chamber?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Lebsack, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I wanted to introduce one of my constituents, Yazi Gabler Alonzo, and she's from the Academy Charter School in Adams County.
And Miss Junior.
And she's also Miss Junior Teen Colorado, and so I'm very proud to have her as a constituent.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And colleagues, I am very pleased to offer the special commendation to our school counselors who are here today, many of whom are on the floor with us this morning. So the State of Colorado House of Representatives, convened in the 69th General Assembly, hereby extends sincere commendations to the Colorado School Counselor Association. The Colorado School Counselor Association, in conjunction with the American School Counselor Association, has declared the week of February 3rd through 7, 2014 to be the National School Counseling Week. This celebration increases awareness of the important and necessary role school counselors play in the lives of students in Colorado schools. Counselors help guide students through their academic, personal, social, and career development. They're usually the only professionals in a school building who are trained in both education and mental health matters, and they have been instrumental in helping students, teachers, and parents deal with difficult situations. The members of the Colorado House of Representatives sincerely appreciate the work of every counselor across our state and thank them for their continued service. So I'd like to, colleagues, please help me welcome and recognize the school counselors who are here today. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any further announcements or introductions? No further announcements or introductions. Representative Moreno.
Good morning, Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. If I could get your attention. Today, Hunger Free Colorado is hosting a gallery, an exhibit in the North Foyer on the first floor, demonstrating the hunger issues that people face in Colorado today. These are photographs that were taken by participants in their program. Some really striking photographs and trying to bring attention to a very important issue. Hope that you can stop by at some point today. It's from 9 to 4:30 in the North Foyer on the first floor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I am asking to be excused tomorrow. I've spoken with my leaders and the majority leader and would ask to be excused.
Representative Lawrence will be excused as requested. Any further announcements or introduction? Representative Sonnenberg, do you want to be excused for the rest of the session? Representative Sonnenberg will be excused as I requested. Oh. Please continue, Representative Sonnenberg.
Well, thank you. And I just wanted to urge you to not give Representative Lawrence that day because we feel she won't be safe on the roads, and we actually think that she would be safer here.
Well, maybe when she's gone, she can find Representative Everett. Any further announcements or introductions? Representative Duran.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And in the spirit of bipartisanship, I too am going to ask to be excused tomorrow, Thursday, February 6th. And I just want to say for the record, this is the first time in 4 sessions that I have done this, so I respectfully request to be gone.
Representative Duran will be excused as requested. Any further announcements or introductions? Members, we'll go into seconds in just a second after the majority leader gets a second to catch up. The House will be in a brief, very brief recess. The House will come back to order. We'll proceed to our next order of business, General Order, second reading of bills. Representative May. You've heard the motion, kind of. All those, seeing no objection, the House will resolve itself in the committee hold for consideration of general orders. Representative May will take the chair.
The committee will now come to order. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for the reading of the bill at length. The committee amendments will not be read unless requested, as they are printed and in your bill folders. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and not read unless requested. Bills will be laid over upon a motion of the majority leader. The coat rule is relaxed. Are you happy now? Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over House Bill 1073, House Bill 1103, House Bill 1065 in that order until the end of the calendar.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, the list that the Madam Majority Leader list will be laid over as requested. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1052.
House Bill 1052, Representative Fisher, also Senator Jones, concerning increasing the enforcement authority of groundwater management districts.
Representative Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1052, and there is no committee report.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, we've heard this bill before. You may recall yesterday I moved it back to second readings. Partly because I wanted to run an amendment that was substantive on second reading. So I move L002 and ask that it be displayed.
The amendment is properly before us. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. What this amendment does, and it basically is a belt and suspenders approach to ensuring that there won't be any sort of double jeopardy with regard to certain rules and regulations that have been promulgated by groundwater management districts and the Groundwater Commission and the State Engineer's Office. What it states explicitly is that if the Groundwater Commission is taking action on one issue, then the groundwater management districts can't also take action on the same issue, and nor the State Engineer's Office. And then probably more importantly, this amendment strikes language in the bill which allows the groundwater management districts to collect the $500 per day fine for violations of rules and regulations that is in current statute. So I ask for an aye vote on L002.
Representative Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Representative Fisher, the fines then that are levied, where do those go if they don't go to the Groundwater Commission or the management district? Do they go to the commission?
Representative Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Representative Sonnenberg. This amendment strikes the language in the bill that authorizes the groundwater management districts to collect fines.
Is Representative Sonnenberg.
Thank you, and I apologize as I try and get my hands around this. So what you're telling me is that we're taking the ability away to pit the farmer against the farmer, the individual ground districts board can no longer levy fines for over pumping or those type of things, but we still have in place the ability to enforce the rules regarding exports.
Representative Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Sonnenberg, if you'll look at the amendment on page 3, the amendment strikes lines 15 through 21 of the bill, which is the section that explicitly calls out the groundwater management district's ability to levy fines, the $500 per day fines that are authorized for the Groundwater Commission and also for the State Engineer's Office to collect those fines for violations of the rules. And so this amendment eliminates that section of the bill, so the groundwater management districts are no longer included in this existing language that allows for the collection of the $500 per day maximum fine that's available. That's all it does.
Is there any further discussion to the amendment? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of L002. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. L002 passes. To the bill. To the bill, Representative Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just renew my motion to approve House Bill 1052 as amended.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 14-1052? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of 14-1052. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. House Bill 14-1052 passes. As amended, passes. Mr. Kohler, could you please read the title of House Bill 14-1146?
House Bill 1146, Representative Becker, concerning a prohibition against greyhound racing in Colorado.
Madam Majority Hollinghorse.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over House Bill 1146, one bill.
That's it. Those are the only two bills. Becker, you're up.
There is one more.
There is?
Senate Bill 7.
Okay. 76.
Are there any objections? Seeing Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I withdraw my motion to lay over.
Mr. Kohler, please read the House Bill of House Bill 14-1146.
House Bill 1146, Representative Becker, concerning prohibition against greyhound racing in Colorado.
Representative Becker.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and sorry for my delay. House Bill 1146 eliminates live greyhound racing in Colorado. It has absolutely no effect on simulcast. Live greyhound racing in Colorado has not existed in the state since 2008 because of several factors that limited its economic viability. Oh, did I not move the business report? I'm sorry. Can I move the business committee report?
Representative Becker, you need to move the bill first and then move your committee report.
The bill? I move House Bill 1146 and the business committee report. Sorry, thank you.
To the business committee report.
Apologies, I'm doing everything wrong. So passing this bill will not affect a single job in Colorado. It's merely a cleanup statute to remove an obsolete practice. We had broad support from business and animal welfare groups, including Mile High Racing, the Quarter Horse Association, and several simulcast providers. I urge your support for House Bill 1146. To pass the Business Committee report.
Is there any discussion on the Business Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the Business Committee report. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The Business Committee report passes. To the bill.
So I move House Bill 1146, and I ask for an aye vote.
Is there Representative Szabo?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, colleagues. I was a little puzzled on this bill when I read the bill and started asking questions. We haven't had dog racing in this state since 2008. So I guess what puzzled me was we're banning something that doesn't exist. To me, that for one has unintended consequences, and it shows there's more to the story. So what I would like to do, Representative Becker, is get to the bottom. What's the more to the story? Why are we banning business, period? And why are we banning a business that doesn't exist?
Representative Becker.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative Szabo, for your concerns. I think it provides certainty to the racing, both the horse racers and the racetrack right now, and other gaming associations, people involved in gaming businesses, that this is not coming back. Ultimately, I just think it avoids certain uncertainty that they have about this practice coming back.
Representative Szabo.
So, members, are we picking winners and losers because another business has some uncertainty? I don't know that that's what the Constitution dictates we do. I think that if there's a business in this state and it's viable, it can make a profit, and it can stand on its own two legs without us interfering. Four legs. Oh, yeah. But the owners, the owners can stand on their two legs, and the dogs can stand on their four legs. We really need to be careful how we're approaching this and not outlaw something that doesn't exist.
Representative Pirola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Becker, the bill seems to also touch on off-track wagering. Can you speak to that, how the statute's materially changed going forward for the kind of off-track betting vis-a-vis not only greyhounds, but possibly also horse racing as well?
Representative Becker.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative Priola. It actually has no impact whatsoever on existing racing. We didn't change anything. Because simulcast and live racing are intertwined in the statute, it's a very surgical process to remove it, but it didn't actually change anything.
Is there any further discussion? Representative Dro.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So Representative Becker, I was looking at the bill too. Is there anything in this bill about golden retrievers? Because I have a golden retriever and I really love my dog, and he's the first, I've had like 6, and he's the first one that could actually ever fetch. So if we're going to be doing this for business, could we do something for golden retrievers?
Representative Becker.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Representative, for the question. Actually, golden retrievers enjoy much better status under the law than greyhounds. Greyhounds are actually considered business chattel under the law. Greyhounds or golden retrievers are considered pets. So your concern is actually already dealt with.
Representative Giroux.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, Representative, my concern is not actually already dealt with, but you bring up a good point. So, colleagues, I would just bring to your attention that former Representative Levy used to collect greyhounds. And she still has greyhounds. So what I'm wondering is, Representative Becker, are you running this bill on behalf of Representative Levy so she can still be a part of the chamber?
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 141146? Representative Quorum.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. You know, I think I witnessed dog racing at the Super Bowl commercials the other day. So, but I'm a little concerned. I'm certainly not a fan of greyhound racing. I am pretty high on horse racing. But I think you know, you have a right to fail, and greyhound racing is not happening in Colorado because it was not economically feasible. But do we start picking and choosing what we think is economical, and let's let the private enterprise determine what they can and can't do. You have a right to fail, you have a right to try, but let's don't limit this to because it's something that we personally don't like, or you don't think it should be done in Colorado. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1146? Seeing none, the question before us, members, is the passage of 1146. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. No. House Bill 1146 as amended passes. Mr. Kohler, could you please read the title of SB 007.
Senate Bill 7 by Senator Lundberg, also Representatives Foote and Del Grosso, concerning authority for a Board of County Commissioners to transfer county general fund monies to its county road and bridge fund after a declared disaster emergency in the county.
Representative Foote.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 7. There is no committee report.
To the bill, Representative Foote.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 7 comes to us courtesy of the Flood Disaster Study Committee. It was actually the first bill discussed in the Flood Disaster Study Committee. It passed unanimously. It passed the Senate unanimously, local government here in the House unanimously. Basically what it does is it allows the counties to rebuild faster after disaster, in particular the floods that we had in the counties this last September. What we saw, or what we have seen as a result of a dividing line between the general fund as well as the road and bridge fund. Right now it's an artificial dividing line, and what this bill would do would get rid of the dividing line in cases of emergencies so that counties may be able to draw upon the general fund instead of just the road and bridge fund in order to rebuild the roads and bridges faster after disaster and after any future disasters that would affect roads and bridges. So I would ask for a yes vote.
Representative Young.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, I want to remind you that the Bipartisan Flood Committee, I'm co-chair along with Senator Renfro, took a position of support on this bill, and so I encourage members to support this bill as well. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on Senate Bill 007? Seeing none, the question before us, members, is the passage of Senate Bill 007. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. SB 007 passes. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
Seeing no objection, the committee will rise and report.
Corey. Oh. You got it, sorry.
Sorry.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Kohler, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Speaker, Committee of the Whole begs leave to report under consideration of the following attached bills being second reading thereof and makes the following recommendations thereon. House Bills 1052 amended, 1146 amended, passed on second reading and ordered gross placed on the counter for third and final passage. Senate Bill 7 passed on second reading or revised and placed on the counter for third and final passage.
Representative May. You've heard the motion. There are no amendments at the desk. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote on adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole. Representatives Becker, Dorr, Fields, Gardner, McLaughlin, McNulty, Pedersen, Tyler. Close the machine with 64 aye votes, 0 no votes, 1 excused, and 0 absent. The report of the Committee of the Whole is adopted. Madam Majority Leader.
I lost the number. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to lay over SJR 005 to next week, February 13.
Seeing no objection, SJR 5 will be laid over as requested. Madam Majority Leader, oh, actually, sorry, Mr. Kohler, please read the title to HJR 1004.
House Joint Resolution 1004 by Representative Hollinghurst, also Senator Heath, concerning changes to joint rules of the Senate and House of Representatives in connection with conforming to the joint rules of changes made to the State Measure for Accountable, Responsible, and Transparent Government Act, repealing joint rule on capitalization in bills.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House concur in Senate amendments to House Bill HJR 1004.
Please tell us what useless information the Senate did.
Well, the Senate managed to add another small change to what we do to agencies and offices of the state relative to reference committees. And they moved the Colorado Energy Office to the Senate Transportation Committee, which includes energy for them. So from the Senate Transportation Committee to the Senate Agriculture Committee and energy.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before the House is to concur in Senate amendments to HJR 1004. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives Gardner, McLaughlin, Murray. Close the machine. With 64 aye votes, 0 no votes, 1 excused, and 0 absent, the House concurs in Senate amendments to HJR 1004. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the readoption of HJR 1004 as amended.
Seeing no further discussion, the question before the House is the readoption or the repassage of HJR 1004. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representatives Court, Janal, Ryden. Close the machine with 64 aye votes, 0 no votes, 1 excused, and 0 absent. The House repasses HJR 1004. Any announcements or introductions? Oh, co-sponsors, sorry, thank you. Close the machine. Announcements and introductions. Representative Ryden.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee, we are meeting on adjournment, so let's say at 10 o'clock over in LSBA, and we will have two bills up today. House Bill 1033, sponsored by Representative Szabo, and House Bill 1063, sponsored by Representative Everett.
Representative Court.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, please don't throw these away. Put them on your file cabinets if you'd like them to be picked up to be reused. And Finance Committee, we have a big calendar, so please be on time at 1:30 this afternoon. Thank you.
Representative Singer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Local Government, we'll see you at 1:30. The same 4 bills that you see on your calendar are the bills we're going to hear.
Representative Fisher.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House Agriculture, Livestock, and Natural Resources Committee, we have 3 bills for action only on adjournment, and then Representative Sonnenberg's Bill 1028. So we have a very busy schedule on adjournment. So let's, I'm going to drop the gavel at 5 minutes till 10. So I'll take roll at 5 till 10 down in the basement. Thanks.
Representative Hamner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and colleagues in the Education Committee. We have 2 bills today, and we'll meet in our usual place at 10 o'clock. I'll see you there.
Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've got a class here that's working on Arts for Colorado of students from my district, Delaney Boehm and Becca Schlemel and Ellen Bradford and Hunter Benjamin. Welcome them for Arts and Education in Colorado. Thank you.
Representative Szabo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I would just like to announce to you, as you've probably noticed, Representative Del Grosso is not sitting in his seat because he is at the hospital right now with his wife, Amber, and they're due to have their baby anytime, so I'm sure they would appreciate your thoughts and prayers.
Any further announcements or introductions? Seeing none, Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar.
Seeing no objection, the balance calendar will be laid over till tomorrow. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until 1 p.m. this afternoon, at which point we will adjourn until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Seeing no objection, the House will stand in recess till 1 p.m.